Now Natura, the leading track from Summer's Over, the new EP from Joash, and he joins us here in the studio today. How are you doing, Joash?
I'm all good, thank you. Thank you so much for having us on, man.
No, thank you. And for those of you that don't know who Joash is, though I don't know at this point how you wouldn't know who Joash is, especially from Manchester, South Asian creative. Give the people like a little bit of background on you.
My name is Joash, I'm an artist
From Manchester, I'm a singer and producer. I've been doing music for a few years right now, and I started off producing, making beats, and then I started singing, and my music is just a fusion of hip hop, R&B, Punjabi, and I spit in both languages, and I've just most recently released my first EP called Summer's Over.
Obviously, we're going to talk loads about the EP, but thinking about what's led up to that, we're just talking off air about how you've done so much in such a short period of time, because you're 19, about to turn 20, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think, did you get your first official tracks released at 18 or 17?
Yeah, so I was 18 when I kind of found my sound, and I released my first, I call it my first proper single, Company, and that got picked up by BBC Asian Network, big up Bobby Friction, and since then I've just been dropping singles, and I've collabed with a few artists, and just dropped my first body of work.
So what was it that led up to that? Before, when you were 18 and you dropped Company, what was it before that had led to being, this is what I want to do, I want to release music? Like, were you interested in it at school, or was it just one of many hobbies?
Yeah, I mean, I think from early it was just, my main interest.
Obviously I was interested in different things. As you go through school, you got loads of interest, but music's the one that stuck. So I started playing piano when I was about 5, and then I started making beats on like an iPad when I was about 12, 13 or something, and then I moved on to making beats on a laptop, and then I started experimenting with like recording my voice and then singing, and then I found out that I had like such a passion for songwriting and just telling my own story through music, and it's just stuck since then.
Yeah, you know what, that is actually so interesting hearing you talk about, I started making beats on an iPad, then moved on to a laptop, and you just told me as well how the first song that you made wasn't even your own laptop, it was your dad's, right?
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to hear you speak about that. It makes me think maybe for the future, for artists that will come after you, that it's not easier but certainly more accessible for people to start making music from that young age, whereas obviously before, when technology wasn't as accessible as it is, you'd obviously have to properly book out studio time, this, that, the other, whereas obviously if you were 12 and like playing on an iPad and that's where that sparked that passion, then obviously why can't it happen for anyone else?
I mean, I hear a lot of excuses from like younger artists coming up and saying I haven't got money for a laptop, for studio, for this and that, but I just started on not even an iPad, it was an iPhone, just my dad's phone, and you can literally start from anything. Like I remember just recording like with that iPhone mic and just making tracks, and and like you said, it is really accessible nowadays.
Coming back to the present now, obviously you've just dropped last Monday, so the 13th, your debut EP. Is 4 tracks. It's the first project as such that's like, I suppose like EPs, they're kind of meant to take you on a journey or be like, they're going to have a same feel to it. So what was it that made you think, okay, because obviously you've dropped a number of singles, both as a producer, as a main artist, etc. But what was it that made you think, okay, this is the point at which I want to drop this project, and this is why, like, this music is the right way to do it?
As you chatted with Sam Mallet the other day, I was a participant in one of his projects called Level Up at Contact in Manchester, and the end goal of that project is kind of that each artist produces their own EP, but more than that, I just had about 20-30 songs on my laptop, and a lot of them were worthy of being in a body of work together, and when you have that many songs, then why drop them as singles, especially if they relate to each other and have that story. So I reached a decision of like 4 songs all shared kind of the same concept, and you know, sonically they fit together as well. So you know, if you notice through all of them, I intended it to be like each one is a different stage of relationship. So you know, it starts with Nal Nachida, which is quite happy, like just typical love song, and then you know, as you get to Falling and Still Mine, the bonus one, you know, it's kind of like the breakup stage of the relationship. And you know, just sonically they all sound like that post-summer vibe, so that's where the title Summer's Over comes from, because you know, I think they all have quite hard-hitting, you know, hip-hop trap drums, but the melodies are quite soft and soulful, and you know, it quite gives that chill vibe of that post-summer feeling, I think.
When was the main making of the EP? Like, when did most of the work go in towards it then?
So it was just over lockdown, so you know, just me just locked in my bedroom, literally just put you know, was making all these tracks, and I think Nal Nachida was the first one that I made, and you know, that was about in January. So you know, we spent a long time on it, you know, trying to perfect each one.
Speaking about that first track as well, was it always intended that you were going to have a feature on it with Dada Flow, or was that a new addition later on?
I had like half the song pretty much done, so everything apart from Dada Flow's verse. And you know, I remember I was listening to Bobby Friction on Asian Network, and I heard one of Dada Flow's tracks, 47 Gang, and you know, I thought it was quite hard. Like, you know, you don't hear many Punjabi rappers from Pakistan, especially, and you know, then I heard Bobby say that he's from Manchester, and I was like, oh damn, I got to collab with this guy. Like, you know, we're in the same scene, we're from the same city. So you know, I reached out to him and I said, you know, like, yo, I got this open verse in one of my tracks, do you want to hop on it? And you know, I think he fit really nicely, because obviously most of his stuff is more hip hop and rap, but Nal Nachida is a love song, and you know, I thought it'd be good for him to get some, you know, just a different style of track for him. You know, it makes him more versatile, and yeah, I think he's a sick like contrast to my voice as well, and you know, just really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny as well, because I think I can actually remember, I think I was tuned in for that episode of Bobby Friction as well,
Right.
and that sticks in my mind. I remember it was in the car, I went to Lidl and I was in the car, and I think that the fact that stuck in my head just shows, like, obviously it wouldn't have stuck in my head if I didn't listen to it, and I was like, oh, there's something really cool about the way that he raps, and also the whole Italian side to it as well. It's like a new addition, but yeah, definitely a good addition for you to have on the first track of the EP.
Yeah, definitely.
So, obviously you've said how these 4 tracks are all sonically the same, and they're talking about stages of a relationship. Was that sort of reflecting on your own experience, or was that like sort of taking from other people and putting that into music? Because obviously I'm aware, like, I'm saying this as I got into the relationship that I'm in at the age 19, so obviously, like, I'm not discrediting that in any way, but obviously you are, like, still quite young, so how do, and listen to the music, it does sound very mature, so I'm curious as to how that actually came about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they all come from past experience, but you know, each track was different. I didn't initially have that story in my head, but you know, all the tracks come from past experience, and you know, I just kind of drew the dots afterwards, if that makes sense.
We're gonna play Come Through and Falling now, which are tracks 2 and 3. Any final stuff that you want to tell listeners before we play, just to have in mind, or just?
Yeah, I mean, kind of just listen out for the Asian influence on like the hip hop beats, and you know, maybe just think about how like I've incorporated my heritage into the music.
Would you say that's like quite important to you then, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. You know, just bringing both sides of my identity together.
What was it about Still Mine, which is the last track that we played, that made it want to be a bonus track rather than just track number 4?
You know, I feel like by Falling, the story's pretty much told itself. You know, the breakup stage has gone past, and with Still Mine, you know, I feel like it's just a little sidetrack, and you know, also musically, I think the other 3 are just stronger, and you know, yeah, I think that's literally it. Just because it's like almost a sidetrack to the story.
Obviously, this is essentially 3 main tracks and a bonus track.
Yeah.
do you feel like, was there ever a time where you're like, oh, I want to include a few more songs, or oh, actually I want to maybe restrict it down to 3, or were they always the 4 tracks that you had intended for this Summer's Over EP?
Like I said, we started from about 20, 30 tracks, and initially I think I wanted about 5, and then one of them, it didn't quite fit the concept, and I thought instead of trying to force 5 onto it, I just stick to the ones that are stronger and the ones that flow well. But those ones, like, they're just saved for other times, for other projects, hopefully in the future.
You are a producer as well as an artist, so were you producing all of these tracks yourself as well?
Yeah, all 100% me.
Wow. So what's that process like then? Do you find like yourself checking yourself a bit more, like, because you're viewing it from the producer seat as well as the artist seat, or do you find it's completely 100% a bonus, or do you find yourself maybe overthinking a bit too much sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, I think every producer has that overthinker inside them, and it's a lot of effort when you think about it, because you're recording all the vocals, you're producing the tracks, and there was little times, as we were sending off the masters to get mastered, there was those moments where you think, oh, can I increase the high end at this point, or maybe I should just chop the chorus off, maybe, all of those little worries and changes that you might want to make. But yeah, overall I think I like being in control of that process, and I don't think I could ever do it, like, just give up that job to anyone. I like control over the whole music.
So do you see yourself maybe as someone, I'm struggling to think of someone now, but someone who is a producer artist rather than just an artist? Is that how you want to be viewed?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like being a producer comes with that level of control, like I said.
And I think as well, obviously you talked about listening out for the Asian influences. I mean, how do you go about, like, do you prefer using samples, or do you prefer creating your own new like dedications to your heritage, or how do you go about making that inclusion?
Yeah, I mean, every single track is different.
So and it's not forced either. It's something that always comes natural. And if I'm trying to force something into, trying to sound Asian to conform, then I think that's the wrong way to go about it, and I just end up scrapping it. But for example, with Come Through, what you just heard, there's like a sitar that's layering the vocal melody, and so that's something I played in on like keyboard myself. But with Falling, there's an Asian sample of the song Botte Jattande by the legend Surinder Shinde, and that's that chopped up melody loop that plays in the start, and that was the whole foundation of the song, and then I built everything on top of that. So yeah, it varies from song to song, and you might remember my song Jannat with Freezy, Big Up Freezy, and even songs like Be Mine, Call on Me with Hannah Malik. They all have the Asian influence, but they're all done in different ways.
Yeah, that's cool as well, that it's not just, obviously this isn't discrediting anyone that does do this, but taking a sample, like, and just kind of speeding it up, slowing it down, chucking it in, like each one is doing that little bit something different to it.
Yeah.
Maintaining variety, which obviously you, like, we've spoken just now as well, how you do so much and so much different stuff as well, which is a real credit to your craft as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thinking about the future now, obviously you've got your Monday Night on the 3rd.
Yeah, that's right.
Corona permitting, fingers crossed, but looking forward to seeing you there. And will that be just the EP performing, or other tracks, or?
Yeah, so it'll be all of the EP, and some of my older tracks, and then some unreleased ones, some exclusive ones, and then maybe a surprise at the end. I might bring on a few special guests. I won't say too much.
I wonder who they could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us on once again, man.
Nah, no worries. Obviously, I don't know whether you've set the record now, because I interviewed you first back in January.
Yeah.
And then you obviously came on for Monday Lit, like end of November, and now you're here for yourself as well. So like 3 times. I don't know whether you have set a record there for like the number one person that we've interviewed. Like, I know we've interviewed HD twice. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think you're the first person to hit 3, so pat
Yeah.
on the back for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it. You know, it's been almost a year since we first got in contact with you and we first did the interview with Freezy, and just thank you so much for supporting us. All this time.
Nah, no worries. I remember like when we first started up Mango Masala, which was like end of 2020, and that was the first time like obviously setting up socials, going on Instagram, and I remember you were one of the very first people
Yeah.
that maybe like I think maybe you followed us or you kept coming up, and I was just like, oh, who is this Joash person? That and I think that for me as well was like the first time that I was like, oh, there's actual talent in Manchester. Is a bit of a wake up call, because I think I was quite ignorant to that before, that there was actually so much South Asian talent surrounding us. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important that we have a platform for South Asian talent in Manchester, and big up all you guys, for being there.
no, for sure. And obviously big up you guys for continuing doing the good work. And I know obviously the past month especially has been quite good for Manchester in terms of living up to what's it called, delivering the goods basically.
Yeah.
Everyone's been dropping stuff and it's been
Yeah.
doing really well. But yeah, how has it been for you, obviously as part of the Manchester scene over the past year?
Yeah, do all of us have been really active. Like, since we dropped Monday Lit, that was, I think a wake up call for the people, and saying that, look, we're here from Manchester, we're repping it strongly, and we have got a scene here, and since then, we've all been kind of contributing to that. Like, I've just dropped my debut EP. Big up Freezy, he's dropped a new single, and going into next year, the energy is just, we're gonna keep working hard and keep dropping stuff, whether it's individually, whether it's all of us, some of us, working with other people, but we just don't want people to sleep on us, and just develop the scene that we've got going, and hopefully take it, outside Manchester, to the rest of the UK, then international, and just see how far we go with it.
Yeah, sky's the limit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Well, no, like, I know it is so. To me, it's just so cool that all of you guys are just Manchester. Like, it's just so cool. It's like every time I see like one of you guys like doing well or getting playlisted or whatever, like it is like it feels like a win for not just you guys but for us as well. So
Yeah.
like, it's really cool to continue seeing that.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you.
So, in regards to these future projects or singles or whatever, anything you can tell us, or
I won't say too much, but me and Kami Kane have got a banger coming at the start of next year, and just keep an eye out for all of us, and because we're all going to be dropping stuff.
cool. You know what? Actually, it's actually so nice that you are our last guest of 2021, because obviously, like you just said, you were one of the first people that was on our radar, and like, yeah. So thank you for being here today. Obviously, it's quite close to Christmas, everything's up in the air, but thank you for taking the time to speak to us. And yeah,
No, thank you. Pleasure to be on the show.
Josh, by the way, before I sign off, do you want to just tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, so best place is my Instagram, joash.music, that's JOASH. And just a massive big up to the whole Mango Masala team. Big up Gurns, Halima, Simran. Make sure you keep supporting them, because these guys don't get enough credit.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And same for Josh as well. Josh is, I think he's like, you're set to blow. It's just a case of like when. When is the
Definitely.
question? So like, I will be continuing to support you until and after that happens. So
Yeah, thank you so much.